To explore this important topic, we are joined by Hassan El Khaya, an expert from the business consultant team. Hassan will share his insights on how you can break silos and bridge the gap between sustainability and operational excellence to improve both. We are also joined by a very special guest, Trent Leinster, Assistant Manager of Production Systems at Subaru of Indiana. Let's start the discussion. Hassan, over to you.
Thank you, Magali. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending the webinar today, and we're very much pleased to walk you through the agenda for today. I'll be walking you very fast through our Vernova software introduction, which would state our Proficy portfolio. Looking after that to a very interesting interview with Trent from the Subaru, and then we'll be walking you through how we see operationalizing sustainability can take place at the shop floor level. After that, a quick demo for our Proficy for sustainability insights, and we'll be sharing a customer story that is happening right now. So let's go and deep dive into our Proficy portfolio. In GE Vernova, as Magali was mentioning earlier, with the huge footprint that we have today and the existence, and coming from the legacy of being manufacturers ourselves within GE, our Proficy portfolio, it encompasses the multiple layers where each and every organization is composed of. ISO 95 divided each and every organization into 4 levels, and these levels they vary from the automation layer down, which is the sensors, the flow meters, the transmitters, the machines, the shop floor assets, up to the business layer applications or the ERP and other systems that are run to run the business. So our portfolio is all over the place between what's happening on the shop floor and what's happening on the business layer, with having our Simplicity and iFix SCADA solutions for data acquisitions and visualization of the machines. Looking into as well having our historian, our Proficy historian that takes the data, the OT data from the shop floor, the time series database, or you can consider it as the industrial data lake. Our scheduler, which is our production scheduling, and where all of the resources that are used for the production. And when I say resources over here, I mean all of the machines, all of the raw materials, and how to optimize them for better production using the different production lines. Our MES, Proficy Plant Applications, which is the brain of the factory. That's where we look into how to manage our efficiency at the shop floor, how to manage our quality, how to provide traceability and such. We have a single pane of glass when it comes to visualization across all of these different modules of the portfolio, along with the other systems that could be in use at a factory or at an enterprise level, which is Proficy Operations Hub, and our AI and machine learning analytics module, Proficy C-Sense, that brings together multiple capabilities from optimization, prediction, and stuff that could happen on the data that is captured from the shop floor, and at the same time integrated with the higher level applications at the business layer. So our portfolio, as I mentioned earlier, encompasses all of these different levels of the organization and brings all of these different capabilities to the manufacturing team. Now, when we're talking about sustainability, and when we're talking about how to operationalize sustainability itself, it's the best thing to happen over here is to listen to a voice of a customer. We're very much happy and pleased to have Trent Leinster. Trent, as an introduction, he's the assistant manager of the production systems for the Subaru in the US and in the Americas. And we're very much happy that he can make it to this webinar, although it's pretty much late at its end. Hello, Trent.
Hello, how you doing?
Thank you. Thank you very much. We really appreciated the time that you spent with us over here. And to the audience, Trent is going to be available with us after the interview for the rest of the session. So please feel free if you have anything that you would like to ask him at the end of the discussion. So Trent, let's jump into the topic today. Um, I would like to understand from your side, and would be really appreciating if you can share with us some of the environmental challenges that you see today in Subaru, and how would you believe digitization would be able to help you solving them?
Yeah, so first I just want to say good morning to everybody on my end, and I want to thank you for having me. So I just want to, go into Subaru's path of sustainability. It's been a long journey. We've been committed to, just collecting the data, but we want to get into where we're actually using the data to drive the strategy of the company. So I will touch that there a little bit of a brief history of Subaru. Excuse me. We've been an eco-friendly manufacturing company for a long time. We have what's called Subaru Loves the Earth event that is currently going on, and it's been active since 2018. Then I also want to admit that, or let you know that Subaru Automotive was the very first automotive plant in the United States to achieve zero landfill status. That was back in 2004. That just shows up the commitment that we have, to sustainability and to protecting the environment. Over the last 10 years, the challenge is how do we get better? How do we, maybe monitor our electricity or wastewater usage? So roughly 10 years ago, we started collecting all this information digitally, but we never really had a good platform or a good way to show it, except, the old tried and true of Excel sheets and, SQL reporting stuff. So the challenge we're having is how do we get that information to make better, decisions for our company. It's not just about, sustainability. It's about, partnering with the community and everything to make sure we're not overutilizing our wastewater or overutilizing the electricity. We want to be good stewards to the environment. And I think Subaru in general is very, very proactive in doing that. And so that's where we're at today.
That's great. That's great to hear. And since you already started this this path, and you're already progressing on it and all, so can you shed a little bit more lights on what are the anticipated values, what are the anticipated outcomes? And I know that such outcomes could vary between something that is tangible, that is hitting and affecting your P&L and showing good returns or good savings, and others that might be intangible. So do you want to shed more lights on this area, please?
Yeah, I think let's start with tangibles. We want to use the analytics to actually drive our, initiatives to make better decisions for the company, if that makes sense. So the tangibles that we see is tracking our electricity use is the best case that we have. If we can see trends of, let's say, off-peak hours to run certain pieces of equipment, we want to utilize that time. If you can save some money because you're saving 30 cents on a kilowatt because you're off peak hours, that's how we want to take advantage of it. We just want to use the data and be smart, and I think it'll help directly impact our company, because then we can actually we have proof of what we're doing and that it's actually working with the data. But the other thing I think something you can't put a dollar sign on. A lot of times we look at, of course, we reduced our electric bill, or we reduced our waste to the environment. But there's other things that, maybe you can't put a dollar sign on, but it's, it's the ability to connect with your customer, to know that you're building a sustainable car with the least impact to the environment. And I think that's some of the, stuff you don't really see, but it makes you feel good that you're doing the right thing for the community.
Super. And that leads me as well to the fact that we all know that Subaru is considered as an eco-friendly company, with all of the geographical footprint that you guys have today, and the values to the environment. Do you want to deep dive a little bit down here to how would you see it helping the environment where you are operating today?
Yeah, I think the biggest payoff we see in our company is we want to cut down our electrical usage. We want to lower our carbon footprint. It's a big deal. It's a real measurable win for the environment. The savings, we can turn that back into investments into the company. We can take any kind of we can when we reinvest into the company, we can also buy better equipment, more efficient equipment. I think that goes the same thing with water. We want to be good stewards to the environment around us. So we really look at the community. I'd say 90% of the people that work at Subaru live in the community around it. And if we can help maintain and sustain the environment without impacting negatively, I think that's what Subaru's ultimate goal is. The biggest thing, I think, when we get to this digital footprint, we're going to be no longer guessing. The data is going to give us a solid plan for our future of investments. Instead of just hoping for the best, we're hoping that we can confidently choose where we put our money and be more efficient, knowing our decisions are backed by real data. And I think that's how we ensure a better return on investment and a more sustainable future.
Super. Thank you, Trent. Really appreciated all of the valuable inputs and the thoughts that you shared with us. Looking into areas where optimizing the usage of wages or utilities, of water, electricity, applying the synergies for the operation via sustainability and paying back to the environment. It's music to my ears to hear that, and that goes pretty much hand in hand with our vision within the Proficy portfolio when it comes to how we support sustainability. We'll be going through the rest of the presentation and the demo for today, and really thank you for being around till the Q&A session, so that any one of the attendees, if they're having any questions for you, please feel free to jump in. Much appreciated, Trent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So let's go into how do we see operationalizing sustainability. For us, operationalizing sustainability, it feeds pretty much in what Trent has just mentioned in his statements. So first of all, the importance of looking into the data itself, having the right amount of data, having the right data that's coming from the right meters, or coming from the right machines, or coming from the right process that is in place, and all of that. So for us, at the beginning, we look at it from 3 specific pillars. The pillar for visualizing, where we look into how to manage on daily basis stuff like our carbon footprint, how much carbon dioxide that we've been producing, carbon monoxide, and how to provide the right data quality, the right parameters that are captured, and how to be able as well to measure and to control the emissions that I have on the shop floor, be it on scope 1 or scope 2. For the sake of definition, scope 1 are the activities that are directly related to the production. So the emissions that are coming from the production machines themselves. And scope 2 usually covers the power that we purchase for running the utilities, for the air cooling, for the gas, and so forth, that are indirectly related to production. Once we have this, that's a challenge that's today most of the companies are trying to solve. And then how to break the silos between operations and sustainability. We believe that sustainability is everyone's concern. So having the opportunity to be able to have the KPIs that are looking at the sustainability looked at with the same rigor that is used today to measure other operation related activities like OEE, like quality and so forth is a must. Be able as well to comply to the regulations and the regulatory performance requirements that will allow us as well to break that silo between what we are producing, what are the activities that we are doing on the shop floor to produce, and how are these affecting my sustainability matrices. Okay, that would lead us to the other challenge, which is the optimization itself. Optimization here, I'm talking about optimizing the usage of my machines, producing from the very first time, producing right, looking into the assets that are operating, making sure that they are operating in the best way possible, and taking this data, crunching it, making sure that we have a benchmark where I would be able to measure how am I performing on that specific task against my history, against my previous performances. Am I doing the right thing? Am I performing in a worse manner than before when it comes to sustainability via doing that specific activity or no? Then having this optimization in place will allow me to identify exactly what are the things, what are the elements, what are the factors that are pulling my performance down or having a huge impact on it. And that where our process engineers would be able to adjust and solve these kind of issues. That's how this kind of a synergy comes into play. And I'll just walk you through a typical scenario. A typical scenario of production that happens on the shop floor. So a typical data that we always have when it comes to the production, it's about the inventory data that we're going to be using for producing a specific SKU or a specific product. So this data is going to be stored on the warehouse. It would be pulled from systems like the ERP or the warehouse management system and so forth, stating the source of that raw material and all. And then the moment that I move this into my workstation, and here we're talking about a discrete manufacturer, where the first stage over here is a workstation that is run by robotics and all, I will be capturing operation-related data. Data like the timing, when did we start, when are we supposed to be finished, and all of that, and what was the part ID that I pulled to do that activity and so forth. A typical way is that after fulfilling the task over here is that this station passes it to the next workstation and so forth. A typical scenario might happen. And here we're going to be introducing the fact that after we do the activity that is supposed to take place over here and the task is finished, there is a testing process. And let's say that we fail on a test, okay? Once we fail on a test, a typical scenario is that we issue a non-conformance to fix that problem. There was some overheating that I need to fix it and I need to work on it and all of that. So I do that. And after fixing it, I will be passing it back to the same station to redo or rework the activity over here. That's a typical data that's being captured through the operation as we speak. What we are introducing over here is that along with all of the data that is being captured from an operation perspective that support traceability and support the product genealogy, I would say, we as well have to capture our sustainability matrices. be it the energy that we are consuming at each and every step, at each and every activity, looking into the emissions that we are as well having and emissions that we are producing at each and every one of these steps. To make it more illustrative, what you see over here is a typical curve that would show you your kilowatt that you are right now being consuming along over the period of time. But what is missing and what we recommend is that we always have to make sure that we use the right tools in place that would allow us to be able to identify what were the operational contexts that were happening. What are the activities that were happening? When our curve was going high over here, what were we doing? What kind of product that we've been producing? Which shift that was working? What kind of other activity that it is taking place at this time? And why are we, when we're idle, we're utilizing that amount of kilowatt per hour while we are consuming that different amount at another time span? So linking what is happening here from the consumption rate, for example, of my electricity to the business context, to the operation context, would allow me to identify the sources of the high consumptions and work on fixing them. Talking about these challenges, how can Proficy help into these areas? As we mentioned earlier about the capabilities of the Proficy portfolio, the different modules and all, we believe that we can help at looking into the challenges from a site level or even enterprise level, from a global visibility perspectives, but then going granular down to the contexts where the process, the production, and the organization are truly measured, truly examined, and then optimization can take place. So for us, it's all about the visualization, bringing the business context, and then optimizing. That optimization can happen at an asset or a meter and event levels, and these I can think about how our Proficy historian and our SCADAs would be able to help in this optimization, or looking at it from an MES, manufacturing execution system perspectives, where Proficy plant applications would be helping on the production context, or even looking at it from a scheduling and planning, where our Proficy scheduler kicks in, or from a teams and shifts and behaviors perspectives. So using the portfolio at different levels, at different challenges, we're going to be able as well to look into optimizing that and bringing the business context into play. And please allow me over here to walk you very fast through a demo of our Proficy for Sustainability index over here. One second, let me just log in. Proficy for Sustainability Insights, it looks into different ways of showing and different levels of granularity when it comes to displaying and showing exactly how are we utilizing our energy, how are we utilizing our wages in general, how are we managing our emissions. So I am going to be sharing my screen. Please let me know when you're able to see my screen right now.
Not yet.
Are you able to see my screen right now?
Yes, now we can see it.
Thank you. So this is our Proficy for Sustainability Index. Proficy for Sustainability Insights, when we look at it, it has different views. It has multiple views. And as we discussed earlier, for example, cost is one of the elements that we always would like to see. the emissions, the energy consumptions, and the water usages as well are from the very much important elements that we would like to see. So we can always look into it from a different view, and I would just select here the cost, and then I would select specific timing, let's say this month, and I'll submit. So on the cost view, I will be able to pull the total cost of the utility with the different pillars that contribute to that cost from from power perspectives, water perspectives, gas, and. Okay, as well, I will be able to look at it as we mentioned earlier. That's the visualization pillar here. When I'm looking into my cost holistically, or when I go into my consumptions, when I go into the intensity, which is how much dollar that I'm going to be consuming per when it comes to energy per hour, when it comes to water and all of that at multi levels. The thing that is beautiful about the solution over here is that I could be seeing that at a plant level or multiple plants. I will be able as well to see it at different sections, because we believe if you look at the plant from a civil structure perspective, there are different sections of the plant that would be having different level of consumptions or different level of emissions. I would go even to the asset type or the different assets that are there. I would go to the meter types, and I can go down up to the meter level. I would go up to the sensor level over here. And this allows me as well to leverage what we call it the production context itself. I will be pulling the data from typical systems that are used for carrying the production context. Typical systems like MES, Proficy plant apps would be an excellent example over here, where I will be able to pull the data related to the teams, to the shifts, to the SKU that we've been producing and the mode of production. All of this is that bringing the business context into measuring as well my sustainability matrices as I go forward. If you go into the different views and the different apps that are there on the solution itself, here when I'm viewing it by asset, I would be unlocking other insights. I would be unlocking facts that, well, if I look at it from a section perspectives, my foundry, I would say it is costing me more when it comes to the cost of the utilities than the rest of the other sections. And these are the top assets that are consuming. It's only fair to expect that, yes, the furnaces would be, if I look at it from an asset perspectives, would be the most costly assets over there. And I can drill it down even to the level of the meters. Going furthermore into my analysis, looking at it from a time perspective. And we typically see that here in the Middle East for specific periods of times, especially with our food and bev and CPG customers, where their the cost gets inflated or gets optimized at certain periods of times during specific seasons and so forth. Okay, I will be able as well to see it over here from a product perspectives, and that's where I'm pulling the data that is coming from my MES, for example, or other systems. And I will be able to tell that this SKU is costing me more or less than the other SKUs that I'm producing, and the mode of production if I have multiple modes. For us, the logic that would look into the product of the mood and the SKU, for us that represents a unique run, if I would say. Trending capability, that could be a spread across a month period, showing me my cost fluctuations. And again, all of this, we are looking into the cost view, not on the other views as well that we could drill down into them. Now, what you have seen over here, we're reflecting the visualization and bringing the contextualization, the business context or the operation context into it. And then when we would like to optimize, a very useful as well tab over here would be the benchmark itself. So on the benchmark, what we do is that we would consider, we take the data from the shop floor that is regarding the operation and all of that. We would look into this data on the history. The system itself, it has, it sits on the top of machine learning and AI algorithms that would calculate and define my averages and then my best levels or optimum levels over there. And today, what I'm doing, what is my actual, which is the blue line over here, how far I am deviated from my top acceptable and from my bottom acceptable ranges or limits or benchmarks, and how far am I from the average. And that would allow me to know exactly where should I focus my efforts, specifically from a process perspectives or the process engineering department. I would be able to get alerts. And when I click on these alerts, what I would know over here is that I would be capable to pull what are the bad actors, what are the main reasons, what are the designated tags or reasons for that specific performance to happen from a correlation perspectives. This correlation that it is calculated by order of magnitude, I will be able to know exactly if it's a direct proportionality or an inverse proportionality, and then I will be able to take actions on these, and these actions could always be triggered by let's do this so that to fix that, or let's edit it, or let's add it manually based on the analysis that we do and assign it to specific teams with a clear description of what needs to happen in order to get this rectified. That's in a nutshell what I wanted to walk you through when it comes to Proficy for Sustainability Insights. That complements the picture where the other modules from our portfolio would be kicking in and would be helping in solving and fixing sustainability challenges. Summarizing that, we would be able, from capabilities and strengths of the Proficy portfolio, to work on your planning, making sure that optimized planning, producing right at the very first time, and the highest amount of throughput on the execution with the right level or the optimal level of utilizing these assets and the resources and the utilities, and controlling the emissions on the production itself to be optimized, producing our SKUs that we would like to produce, and as well to be able to leverage the traceability back when it comes not only to the materials or the product's genealogy, but even to the carbon footprint, emission rates, and so forth that are requested by regulatories, and the analysis that I just walked you through on the demo right now. Taking all of these together, I would like to conclude with a customer story. This is a food and bev manufacturer, and it's an ongoing right now deployment on phase 1 that is going to be followed by phase 2 and so forth. The customer was having the typical challenge of our bills are very high. We would like to reduce our utilities bills, and we would like to increase our sustainability footprint and KPI progression. So what we have done is that we implemented our Proficy historian. We captured the required data, and this data was coming from sensors, digital flow meters, controllers, transmitters over the shop floor for the utilities, and then storing this data, crunching it, understanding it, looking to the trends and all of that, and then applying advanced analytics algorithms on top of it, okay, so that we identify where are the consumption levels shooting high, and bringing, as well as I mentioned earlier, the business context in place. So our utilities were shooting high on that specific line when producing that specific SKU, rather than producing the same SKU on another line, okay? And based on that, rectifications take place at the operation level and at the process level and so forth. The second phase for them is going to be as well to include the assets that are directly involved in the production, which is the production lines, into the same solution. But today, by only leveraging it at the utilities level, they are seeing lower costs from the utilities. They're seeing huge improvement when it comes to the resources efficiency, lots of breakdowns that were avoidable right now and all of that. And at the same time, fewer carbon emissions or carbon footprint today. With this, I would like to conclude the presentation and the demo for today. Thank you all for attending. I will pass it back to Magali and will be more than happy to listen and to respond to your queries and questions. Thank you. Back to you, Magali.
Thank you. So thank you very much, Trent, for sharing your perspective with us. And thank you, Hassan, for this presentation and the demo. So the demo was a demo of Proficy for Sustainability Insights, which is part of the Proficy portfolio from GE Vernova. We are over time, so we will go fast over the questions we have received. But know that we will share the recording of this session by email, so you can replay it or share it with your colleagues. And also, if you have additional questions, you can send your questions to Cataldo. You see his email on the chat, on the screen, and he will be happy to receive your questions and share them with the person who can best answer them. And very quickly, going through the questions we have received. So what about the sensors? Are they part of the solution?
Yes. So the sensors are part of the solution. We capture them from their data perspectives. The hardware perspective is out of the solution, but the solution is capable of connecting and collecting the data from all of the different types of sensors and from all of the different speeds or different integers of data collection that is requested.
Okay, another question. What are the protocol of communication?
So our Proficy portfolio, by the way, there is one of the modules that we have, which is called Industrial Gateway Server, IGS. And IGS, you can think about it as a repository for communication protocols that allows us to connect to almost all of the available communication protocols today that are used by different OEMs on the shop floor. Because we know that factories usually are composed of different production lines that could be coming from different OEMs and can be as well coming from a different, I would say, age group. So we use it as a repository where all of the different OEM assets can leverage it to get connected to the system. So from that point of view, we really utilize IGS capability to connect despite the different communication protocol in use.
And last question, can we see the costs of peak and off-peak hours, since costs are different for both periods and optimization could be done by moving consumption from peak to off-peak hours? And how are the different periods configured, since tariffs change all the time?
Absolutely. So the cost at a peak or a non-peak period as well is part of the solution that can be displayed. The screens that were created over here were for demo purposes and were standard screens that we typically just listed what we usually hear from our customers when it comes to it. And for further details, more digging into it, please reach out to us and we will be able to display and to show as well how are the different ways of calculations or the different formulas of calculation and the different displays are capable based on the customer's needs.
Last question very quickly. Is this solution limited to specific business case like manufacturing alone or can be integrated into mini grids?
It can be integrated to many grids. It can be integrated to other power plants, if I would say, water stations. It can be integrated into buildings if people are looking into it, because we have utilities and all over and across each and every building that has activities. So if we're capable of taking the data and we're having other systems that will bring the operational context or the business context into it, the system can take a play over there. Typically, it was generated for the production over here, but at the same time, lots of tailors or tweaks can take place along with within our portfolio itself. We have as well other means of doing it via the other elements or the other modules of our Proficy portfolio.
I think we have covered all the questions. Thank you again, Hassan. Thank you, Trent, for joining us. And thank you all for listening. And we hope to see you again in the next Coffee with an Expert. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.